This episode is brought to you by Carnegie Mellon's Tepper School of Business. Want to advance your career or switch fields? An MBA from Carnegie Mellon's Tepper School of Business can help. Earn your degree from a top-ranked business school with a thought-provoking curriculum, one-on-one leadership coaching, support from experienced career counselors, and full-time, online hybrid, and accelerated MBA formats. Join the intelligent future. Visit cmu.edu/Tepper to learn more.
Apple Card is the credit card created by Apple. You earn 3% daily cash back up front when you use it to buy a new iPhone 15, AirPods, or any products at Apple. And you can automatically grow your daily cash at 4.15% annual percentage yield when you open a high-yield savings account. Apply for Apple Card in the Wallet app on iPhone. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings is available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility. Savings accounts by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, member FDIC. Terms apply.
This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 2558, How to Retire, 5 Steps to a Secure Future, by Kathleen Coxwell of newretirement.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. Now let's jump right into our next post and start optimizing your life. How to Retire, 5 Steps to a Secure Future, by Kathleen Coxwell of newretirement.com. You want to know how to retire. Figuring out the answer to this question can feel overwhelming and sometimes impossible, especially if you're already in your 50s or 60s. It has been hard just making ends meet month after month. Now you're faced with creating a plan for the next 20 or 30 years of your life. There are many unknowns and perhaps not quite enough savings. However, you can do it. Here is a 5-step plan for how to retire, no matter how much you've saved. Number 1, figure out what you want to do in retirement. The people who are happiest in retirement are those that have a purpose for this phase of their lives. It's best to retire to do something, not just to escape whatever you do to earn money. Maybe think about your retirement in 5-year segments. Consider what you want to be doing and what will be important to you in each segment. Number 2, write down a retirement plan. A lot of potential retirees have a retirement block. Similar to a writer with writer's block, many potential retirees just don't know how to get started planning their future. The cure for retirement block is the same as writer's block. Just jot some things down. Want to know how to retire? Start somewhere. And know that you're probably not going to get a final plan the first time around. In fact, you might feel shocked by how bad your future finances appear. But don't worry, there are lots of ways to fix a retirement plan. Retirement calculators make it easy to get started. Just answer the questions in the calculator. Don't be afraid if you put in the wrong information. Whatever you write down the first time is not going to be your ultimate retirement plan. You'll probably need to make some major adjustments. However, be sure to use a reputable and detailed retirement calculator. Some calculators make a lot of assumptions that may or may not be relevant to you. And many of these tools focus only on how much savings you need for a secure retirement. Look for a tool that addresses the following factors. Asks about you and your spouse separately, gets into the details about your debt, lets you enter information about each individual savings account, allows you to put in different levels of saving, spending, and earning. None of these are going to stay the same throughout retirement. Helps you think through medical and long-term care costs, allows you to model different scenarios for your savings, housing, spending levels, and more. And enables you to save your information so that you can update it later as you make decisions and strengthen your plan. Number 3, play with your retirement plan and fix the problems. Once you have a baseline plan in place, you'll begin to see how to start fixing what might be wrong about your plan. Don't worry if you don't have enough savings. Here are just a few of the many other options you have for improving your retirement finances. Number 1, delay the start of Social Security. Starting Social Security at your full retirement age instead of at 62 can sometimes mean more than $100,000 over your lifetime. Number 2, boost your investment plan. Depending on your level of savings, getting a better rate of return, reducing investment fees, and improving your tax efficiency can be great ways to ensure a more secure retirement. Number 3, invest in a lifetime annuity. Having adequate income for life is the biggest problem facing most retirees. A lifetime annuity is one way to give yourself the income you need, guaranteed for your and your spouse's lives. Buying an annuity locks up your savings, but it can greatly reduce stress. However, there are many pros and cons to lifetime annuities. Number 4, work longer. There are so many benefits to working longer, including social, emotional, intellectual, and financial benefits. And it does not have to be nose to the grindstone forever. There are lots of ways to make work a bigger part of your retirement plan. An extra year at your job, a part-time gig, a sabbatical instead of retirement, or starting your own side business. Try out different work scenarios in your retirement plan. Number 5, tap home equity. If you're like most households, your house is your most valuable asset, often exceeding your retirement savings. If you own your home, you can give a serious boost to your retirement plans by downsizing or getting a reverse mortgage. Number 6, get creative. Desperate times call for creative measures. If you're nearing retirement and are short on adequate funding, you may need to start thinking outside of the box. Getting a roommate, retiring abroad, and finding passive income streams are a few ways to get creative to fix your retirement plan problems. And number 7, spend less. Anyone can retire at any level of income and savings. It's just a matter of spending less and making do. Some people manage to make retirement work on Social Security alone, either by using a retirement calculator or by working with a financial advisor. You should keep playing with your retirement plan. Change the numbers and dates until you have a plan you can live with. Number 4, set a retirement date and tell everyone. You have documented what you have, plus researched and refined your options. Now it's time to finalize some decisions and commit to your plan. Sharing your ideas for how you will retire will help make it real for you. Of the many important dates, you'll probably want to set an official retirement date for yourself. Even if you'll be easing out of work or getting a retirement job, don't be shy about celebrating this important milestone in your life. Retirement is a major accomplishment. Retirement date aside, you'll want to take note of all the important events in your plan. The start of Social Security, when your mortgage is paid off, when it's time to downsize, when it's time to start withdrawals from your savings, etc. Be prepared to adjust them as necessary as you progress through retirement. And number 5, take the leap of faith. Research shows that people feel a lot of stress and anxiety in the years leading up to retirement. However, most everyone feels great in retirement. The retirees who went through a rigorous planning process and figured out how to retire express the most satisfaction with retirement. However, even those not as prepared found ways to make it work and enjoy this time of their lives. So, as the saying goes, jump right in. The retirement waters feel fine. You just listened to the post titled, How to Retire, 5 Steps to a Secure Future by Kathleen Coxwell of newretirement.com. Labor strikes, climate change, your beat up office printer. What do they all have in common? Come on, it's all about the money. Economics is everywhere and everything, fueling our lives, even where we least expect it. If you're a fan of Optimal Finance Daily and are curious to learn something new and exciting about economics every week, I recommend you listen to the Planet Money podcast from NPR. Planet Money is a different kind of world where the complex economy actually makes sense, where human stories supersede abstract theories. For example, credit scores may sound complex, but Planet Money can give you simple tips so that you can make better financial decisions. And Planet Money also answers some of life's burning questions, like, will AI take over our jobs? And why are Christmas trees so darn expensive? The Planet Money team lives to tell a good story in around 30 minutes. It's econ for the rest of us. Tune in to Planet Money every week for entertaining stories and insights about how money shapes our world. Stories that can't be found anywhere else. Listen now to Planet Money from NPR, wherever you get your podcasts. Something always comes up when you're running a small business. Take the pain out of payroll benefits and HR and put the joy back in running your business with Gusto. Gusto's payroll and HR services can make it a little easier. Gusto is designed for you, the small business owner. They take the pain out of running a business. Automatically calculating paychecks, filing payroll taxes, setting up open enrollment, Gusto does it all. Want more? Time tracking, health insurance, 401k, onboarding, commuter benefits, offer letters, access to HR experts. You get the idea. With Gusto, you can focus on the joy of running your business. It's super easy to set up and get started. And if you're moving from another provider, Gusto can transfer all of your data for you. It's no surprise 94% of customers are likely to recommend Gusto. 94. Here's the best part. Because you're a listener, you get 3 months totally free. All you have to do is go to gusto.com/OFD. Again, that's gusto.com/OFD. I'm telling you, you're going to love Gusto. Get started today. This article reminded me of an exchange I saw in a personal finance group with my friend Frank Vasquez of Risk-Parity Radio. The commenter said, quote, "How do I stop my over-analysis of my financial trajectory when there are so many variables that seem to have such a high degree of influence on the predictions that are generated? Not only that, there's so much about life that's unpredictable," end quote. Frank responded brilliantly, as he always does, by pointing out that there's a fundamental difference between financial risk and uncertainty. He explains that a risk is something that can be calculated with some precision, and therefore having more and more data can help. An uncertainty problem cannot be solved with more and more data. You're better off using rules of thumb in conditions of uncertainty rather than trying to be precise. If you try to be too precise, like with a retirement calculator, you might just end up being precisely wrong. Frank argues that the better choice is to be generally correct about the right ballpark and then make adjustments as you go. This is why the 4% rule is a good broad estimate for a FI number. It gets to the ballpark. What you do specifically after that depends on a whole host of other parameters and goals, many of which are not fixed or completely known. If you'd like to hear Frank pontificate more on these kinds of questions, check out his podcast, Risk-Parity Radio. That brings us to the end for today, though. Thanks so much for listening all the way through, and I'll see you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.